up? Brian here from GMB Fitness. Now today I'm going to be talking about functional movements. I'm not talking about those silly exercises you see where a person is on top of a stability ball doing squats. What I want to do is talk a little bit about my thoughts on what it means to be using functional movements appropriately. If you're playing sport, any sort of activities, you always want to get better for that sport, for that activity you're doing, right? It makes sense. And so there are certain things that we're always looking for in order to help us to improve those sports. And in GMB, we're looking at three things. We're looking at strength, flexibility, and control. If we can focus on those and get better at our strength, get better at our flexibility, get better at our control, we can keep things simple, focusing on certain movement patterns that are going to carry over for everything that we're doing. The way we do that is we focus on these 6 fundamental movement patterns here in GMB, and that's what we're going to do right now is cover those. The first one is push. I want to use the example of a surfer. So let's say that you need to get better at being able to pop up onto your board. So obviously there's some things involved here. We need to have the power, the pressing, pushing power to be able to actually initiate that movement. We also need the flexibility to be able to get into the squat position. We also need the control to be able to balance in there. Well, we can focus on all those things at once if we were to focus on just doing pop-ups. But let's break this down. And if we look at the 6 fundamental movement patterns that we have here in GMB, one of the first ones is the push. And so what we can do is we can actually just take the pushing component of that pop-up, which would be the push-up. Work on getting stronger in that. Focus on our control. It's also going to help us with flexibility and our range of motion with our shoulders. And the better that we can do that by simply focusing on slow and controlled push-ups. And doing this in a manner where we can then sophisticate that movement, getting even stronger, possibly doing staggered push-ups, possibly working up to a single arm push-up. Really, it's focusing on that pushing component that's going to allow us to improve the strength, flexibility, and control at a level that's good for us, good for you. And that's what it comes down to. So as a matter of fact, you might only need the push-up. That's a good thing. You can stick around, just hang out in that push-up, get really, really strong with that movement, and you know it's functional because it's going to be helping you for the pop-up with your surfing. All right, so the next one I want to take a look at is the pull. We're going to go over to the rings, take a look at that. All right, so the next thing up would be the pull. And so this is a fundamental movement pattern that we have here in GMB, and there's many different ways we could do it, but I want to keep it simple. So let's think about if you were getting into rock climbing, and let's say that you just want to go to the bouldering gym. You just need to improve your basic pulling strength, or as a matter of fact, you just want to get even stronger. It's looking at those attributes. Okay, what do we need to focus on? We need to focus on that strength. We need to focus on that flexibility and control. I know I keep saying this, but the thing is focusing on those components is what is going to help you in your particular activity. And so one movement that I like to use is called the reverse row sit back. Now, I'm not saying that this is the end all of all the pulling movements that you need, but this is a great example that incorporates that strength, that flexibility, and the control needed in order to get better at this movement that's going to translate over to pretty much everything else you got going on out there. So my rings are relatively high in comparison to typically how I would teach this, but I think this will be a good example because what this is going to force me to do when I'm working on this is strengthen the scaps. We're looking at strengthening the shoulders. When we get the hips up, we're incorporating the core, which is strengthening it, as well as flexibility when we get the pull to the top portion of it, full range of motion. When we turn the rings, we're further strengthening our back, our core, our arms. When we sit back, we're looking at flexibility. Do we have that range of motion as well as strength to keep us in this position? And then return, turning the rings, and then lowering ourselves, going all the way down. Do we have that strength? Do we have that flexibility? Do we have that control? This is a very functional movement. Why? It hits all of those. This is something I love, and I recommend it to everybody, no matter what your pulling strength is. You can also do sophistication of this movement. Single arm work. But the thing is, it's easily doable as long as you change it up to match your level. And what I mean by that is, if you only need to focus or you only can focus on that pull portion of it, great. Get strong in that position. If you're having trouble with the flexibility component of actually sitting back, moving your hips, great. Just focus on that component portion of it. Once again, it comes down to your goals. What do you need in order to help you with your activity regarding strength, flexibility, and control? Let's look at the next fundamental movement pattern. All right, so we just looked at that pulling movement. Next up for our fundamental movement pattern would be the squat. I already mentioned this earlier in reference to the surfer, but I want to give you a different example. I'm going to use myself as an example. I love Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and I actually love to stand and do my passes from standing. So what's going on here is that I need good balance, control on the single leg. I need strength in the leg as well as flexibility to be able to engage the ground and get in particular positions that are going to allow me to continue once I pass. And so, for example, something that I do like to use in my own training is a movement called the Colt. Single leg balance, driving down and turning. Now this is more of a sophisticated example. And so in order to show you a very simple in terms of single movement that hits on strength, hits on flexibility, and hits on control, then I'm going to use this prop and we're going to do the shrimp squat. This is a great example of a movement that works on leg strength. It's looking at flexibility, helping with range of motion in my ankles and my hip flexors, as well as control, because I'm going to be on one leg. And so the very basic movement is simply to go from here, and you can use this for balance, and simply try and go down as far as you can in this position. Now, this is with the leg hanging free in terms of not holding it. As you get better with this, being able to go all the way down to the ground and then standing back up. You can then further sophisticate it, working on better strength, improving flexibility, as well as control by not using the prop, holding on to your foot, and then slowly working on going down to the floor. Oh, I almost fell there. Great example of me losing my balance. But this is a good example of a movement that you can use that's very functional. The application of the shrimp squat and getting better at improving strength, flexibility, control is obviously going to carry over and help me with my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu when I go and start working on my passing game. Our next fundamental movement pattern is going to be the roll. Now, for this particular example, I'm just going to show you a standard shoulder roll. Super simple in terms of it can be easy. But rather than looking at this as something that you just do, when you're focusing on fundamental movement patterns, think of more as exploration. What can you learn from the movement that you're doing? Doesn't matter if you're just doing the push-up, if you're doing the reverse row for the pull portion, if you're doing the squat component where you're doing a shrimp squat. What are you learning from that? The movements themselves might be easy, but they can become not necessarily harder, but you can go deeper and learn more and get better if you reframe the way that you look at these movements and instead explore, see what's going on. And so the example that I'm giving here for the roll, this basic shoulder roll, how are you initiating the ground? Do you have the control when you place your shoulder on the ground? When you pull your head through, do you have the range of motion and flexibility to be able to keep your head off of the ground when you're performing this movement? Do you have the strength and flexibility to push your hips up into the air without falling over? As you go over, do you still have that control to be able to hold yourself and slowly roll out of it? So just because we're looking at functional movements doesn't mean that we're limited to simply strength. Doesn't mean that there's nothing to be learned in keeping things simple. And that's very important. When you can reframe the way that you look at these fundamental movement patterns, and instead of thinking of just crushing the movement, think of what you can learn. How can you explore from these movements? Sophisticating these movements is going to help you to be not only better in just doing those movements, but it's going to carry over to help you better in the activities that you're doing. Next up, we're going to look at the twist. And so the twisting component, I showed one example of where I was twisting my body in a squat position where I do the colt down and twisting this way. Another example we like to use here in G&B would be actually twisting our body in the movement while we have our hands on the ground. Now, an example of this could be as simple as doing an under switch with our body here. Under switches. Or they could even be sophisticated in doing something, an example as a swipe type movement. Looks similar to a cartwheel, but we're not bringing our legs up and over us. So the thing about it is, again, what is your goal? What do you need to focus on in order to help you to get better at your activity? That's the most important thing. And what functional movement you use in the roll, in the push, in the pull, in the squat, in the roll, and the other two that I'm going to be covering here in a little bit, are dependent upon your goal. And these examples that I'm showing you here are things that I found that are going to help the majority of people out there. And so that's why I like to keep it simple. This is going to focus on strength, flexibility, and control everything that you're doing. So our final fundamental movement pattern would be locomotion. Now what we're going to be doing is taking movements and putting them into motion. Now earlier when I showed you that roll and the twist, yes, they're in motion. All movements are in motion, but what I'm saying here is that we're going to be linking movements together when we're doing that. And so this is the beauty of locomotion and why it's one of our patterns, and that is that we can learn how to move better in different ways on the ground here that's going to apply to our activity. So an example here could be coming back to when I was demonstrating the pole when we're looking at the climber, and we can actually take locomotion movement patterns where you're reaching, you're twisting, you're pushing off with the legs. Doing these on the ground and getting better at those movements are going to help for when you're on the wall, reaching and twisting and pushing off with your legs. So an example might be in that case of something like, let's say the Spider-Man movement that we have that starts off from the bear, and then we reaching out and twisting, pushing off in our legs, reaching, twisting. We're also focusing, of course, on that pushing component. It's focusing on communication throughout the body. The body is learning how to work together in different movement patterns. And that's going to help us for when we're out there doing our activities in our sports. So many different examples that we can use for locomotion, but that Spider-Man movement that I just showed you is a great example of one that can be applicable, and it's easy to do in terms of on land, and that's going to help you for when you get on the wall when you're bouldering. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment below. Let us know what you think about this. Let me know some of the ideas and the things that you use in your functional movement training that helps you for your particular sport. And as well, let me know what sport or activity you do, because I'd love to continue the conversation, go a little bit deeper into what's going on with you. And hey, if you got any questions, let me know and we can help you out with that. Also, be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel, and check out some of the other videos that we have. Cheers.